What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning C Sharp. My name is Zani and you guys watching my channel Coriowood. Alright, so in this video we're going to see what is CLI. If you haven't heard of CLI, CLR and IL. Understanding the CLI, our CLR and IL is essential part of becoming a very good proficient C Sharp programmer. Alright, so we begin with CLI. CLI is a command line interface, or we can call it CLI, is a text-based user interface or UI used to run programs, manage the computer files, and interacts with the computer. Command line interfaces are also called command line user interface, or we can call it console user interface and character user interface. So there are command line interfaces, or we can also call it command line user interface. So if you haven't heard of this name before, we're gonna very familiarize you with this name. So the CLI is a specification that describes how a runtime environments can be used on different computer platforms without being rewritten for specific architectures. It is developed by Microsoft. It's standardized by ECMA, which is European Computer Manufacturer Agency, and ISO, which is International Standardization Organization. Alright, so if you guys have used the Windows, or if you have used Linux, you know what I mean by a CLI or Mac OS. CLI is when you guys go in command line in a Windows search and type CMD or command line, the command line interface opens, and you can change your directory, you can remove files, you can create files, you can remove folders, you can create folders, you can view the bird's eye view of your computer's entire computer system. Either you are using Windows or using Linux or using Mac OS. With Linux, you can update the computer, upgrade the computer, install the programs. The same goes with Mac OS. You can do very interactive programming with CLI. So this is CLI, which is text-based user interface used to run programs. You can do your programming inside the CLI, which makes it a lot easier instead of using graphics or GUI inside the computer. So GUI stands for this user interface, or whatever you guys going to see inside the computer, but CLI is a text-based, whatever you guys write text. So with Linux, you guys issue command sudo apt upgrade or sudo apt update. That's called text-based user interface used to run our programs. Well, so now we see what is CLR, our common language runtime. So .NET, that we have already seen, provides a runtime environment called the Common Language Runtime, or CLR, that runs the code and provides services that makes the development process easier. So the CLR provides runtime services such as exception handling and automatic memory management. So we have seen the runtime. We know what is the language. Now we're going to see what is common. So all in all, the CLR has the word common, which refers to the fact that the same runtime can be shared by other managed programming languages or tools such as programming languages such as F#, Visual Basic, and many C++ compilers and tools expose the common language runtime's functionality and enables you to write code that benefits from the managed execution environment. Code that you developed with the language compiler that targets the runtime is called managed code. Managed code benefits from the features such as cross-language integration, cross-language exception handling, enhanced security, versionings and deployment support, and simplified model for component interaction in debugging and profiling services. Now that we understand what CLR is, now we're going to go on the IL, our intermediate language. IL stands for the intermediate language. So C# is called the managed language because it compiles source code into the managed code, which is represented in intermediate language, or we can call it in short IL. The CLR converts the IL into the native code of the machine, such as x64 or x86, usually just prior to execution. So this is referred to just-in-time compilation, or we can call it JIT compilation. Ahead of time compilation is also available to improve startup time with the large assemblies or resource constrained devices. Alright, so now we're going to see how they all connected to each other. So I'm going to explain to you guys how they all now that we know that all of them is bit by bits. Now I'm going to explain you all the whole picture, how they all connected with each other. As we said before in the previous video, that the C# programs, our F# program runs on .NET, and virtual execution systems called the common language runtime, as we've seen here, the CLR. So the CLR, as we said, the CLR is the implementation of the CLI by Microsoft and international standards. The CLI is the ground for creating execution and development environments in which languages and libraries work together continuously. The source code written in C# is compiled into the intermediate language, our IL, that matches the CLI specification. The IL code and its resources like bitmaps and strings are saved into an assembly language, which usually ends in in.dll. A pack includes a manifest that provides information about the assembly's types, genres, and culture. When the C# programs is carried out, the assembly is filled into the CLR. The CLR performs the just-in-time compilation to change the IL code to native machine instructions. The CLR gives other services related to the automatic garbage collection, exception handling, and the resource management. Code carried out by the CLR is sometimes referred to as managed code, in comparison with the unmanaged code, which is composed into the native machine language that selected specific platform. So the code that carried out by the CLR, common language runtime, is sometimes also referred to as a managed code, as I said before, in comparison with the unmanaged code, which is composed into native machine language that selects a specific platform. Alright, so now we have a very good understanding what CLI is, what CLR, and what is IL. So in the next video, we're going to go and start our installation of our IDE for C#. What is IDE? IDE is for integrated development environment, which we're going to write our code and execute our code. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Coriowood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.